Well, revenue is down and budget cuts are getting bigger, and that means layoffs are looming. And it's important to see the signs in order to safeguard your job. Sherri Thomas of Career Coaching 360 is here to help. Sherri, always great to see you.
Hi, Tram.
Let's get right into it. What are these 4 very important signs that we all need to look out for?
Well, one of them is your environment. And if you've been through a layoff, there may be multiple rounds of layoffs, so that actually is a sign. Also, if funding is being cut, if programs are being cut, if lines of services are being cut, all indications. And also, before every layoff, there's a heaviness in the air, a heaviness in the environment. It's depressing. So, senior managers aren't talking, people aren't being as social as they normally are. These are all good indications that your environment is changing. There could be a layoff coming down the pike.
Yeah, low morale. So then what should you do if the environment is just crumbling around you, really?
Yeah, make sure you set up a one-on-one with your manager and make sure you're aligning expectations and you're delivering results. Beating a layoff isn't about being busy, it's about delivering results.
Okay, what's the second one?
Sign number 2 is really about your job role. You need to take a look at your assignments and see if maybe they've shifted onto lesser valued, lesser visibility projects. Also, take a look at your last performance review. These are ways that you're being measured across the company, and this can tell you how you stand up against your peers.
And what should you do in that case?
In that case, you want to sit with your manager and you want to try and negotiate onto those higher visibility, higher valued projects.
Yeah, make yourself a little bit more important.
Exactly.
Okay, more valuable.
Exactly.
Number 3.
Number 3 is your influence, and this is tough. If you find that your sphere of influence is shrinking, you've probably already been marked for a layoff. And what I mean by that is if all of a sudden you're not being invited to business meetings anymore, if all of a sudden you're no longer asked for input on business decisions, this means the company is moving on without you. So your sphere of influence is a big deal.
Yeah, that is a little scary. You're no longer important. You're no longer an asset. So what should you do?
Well, I really believe you need to put together a solid, rock-solid plan B. And that is ask yourself, what would I do if I was laid off tomorrow? How would you stay afloat? Would you do freelance? Would you do consulting? Would you put up a website and be an entrepreneur? You need to think about that and start moving in that direction so that if the axe fell, you can bounce back, hit the ground running.
Yeah, prepare yourself. And the last important one?
The last one, we all get physical signs before we're laid off. So for example, if you're driving into work and you see the building and all of a sudden your stomach turns into knots, or your palms start sweating, or your heart starts racing, or if the alarm goes off and you start hitting the snooze button 46 times. These are all indications that something toxic is in your environment and you need to change it.
It's physically making you ill.
Physically.
So it sounds like with something like that, I mean, you just need to leave.
You have to change. Either, if you want to stay, start talking to your manager, maybe other managers. Maybe there's a project out there that you can add value and you can feel valued and appreciated. If you don't want to stay, then maybe it's just time to make a fresh start in your career.
Right, right. Excellent advice. I know we're going to have more from you in our next hour. Rick's going to talk to you. And we even have a Twitter question, too. So we'll get to that in a few. Rick, we'll toss it back to you.
All right, thanks a lot.